So welcome, Candy. This is
Hi,
Lisa
Lisa. How
E.
are you?
How are you? It's good to see you again. I know it's been a couple of weeks since you shared your news. Um, and so congratulations on getting hired. And also, I know we started talking before I started recording. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Lisa Ely. I'm the Six Figure Success Mentor, and I help faith-based professionals to land in their dream jobs, to grow and thrive. And so today we have with us Candy, and she has a success story, and I wanted to share it with the audience. So Candy, if you could first let's talk about the end. What are you doing? And tell us about your new position.
So right now, I got hired by a university to be, they call it student success advisor, but it's really academic advisement. And that's something I always wanted to do while working in higher education. Every time I would apply for that position, for the past maybe even 15 years, I would get pushed into another position. But I always knew this is who I am. This is what I love to do. Another thing I'm doing that through my process with Lisa, and I know she kept telling me, she was very patient with me, but she gave me some tough love. She kept telling me focus on one thing because I can be all over. But I guess the process, and as God wanted it to be, it opened other doors for what I felt inside that I know I can do as well. And that's consulting. So I ended up getting two of my, I guess you say, dream careers. I am an entrepreneur who loves to do certain things. I have strengths that I'm very aware of, and my issue has always been, what do I do? Where do I start? Where do I go? So my whole process with Lisa, I have come from being not sure, even though I knew what I could do, unsure about myself, not pushing myself, not putting myself forward, knowing that Candy, you can do this. You're very confident. You're able to do this. You're good with people. All these things in my head, with things that happened through my life that held me back for whatever reason, because we all go through those times. And when I connected with Lisa, it's been almost 3 years, I think, for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I connected with you, I was going through a time where I knew I needed a coach. I said, I needed someone to help guide me. I needed. And guess what? I help other people. I coach other people, but everybody needs someone to talk to, your thoughts, to help guide you in the right path. Tough love, it's not about, just yesing. It's not about just agreeing with everything. And I laugh because I know Lisa was very patient with me, because I have a strong personality in the midst of everything. And I know I can sort of push things and wanted to go my way if that's what I want. And she was very patient with me, but she just knew when to, okay, now, in order for the process to work, you have to do this. And I think I had the best coach ever, because and I could tell sometimes, I'm like, oh my God, I'm pushing her patience. I knew it. And it was funny. Here's another thing I like to do. When I know maybe the person like to think ahead, or, I can outsmart the process, I would try to skip some processes. And she knew. She was like, when I was, she said, okay, you didn't do this homework. You didn't do this. And I sat there like, oh my God. One day I remember I was like, how did she know? I'm like, yep, this is her thing. She knows. And even me, when you create something and you're telling someone there's a process, don't skip. There's a reason for that. There's a method to the madness, because
Yes.
it does work.
No,
And I
absolutely.
laughed when I got off the phone. I said, ooh, and I told myself, I said, oh, I got the right one. But I knew from day one, and I think I told her maybe months later, I would say when I came to her, I was in a place where my thoughts were everywhere. I was doubting myself for things that I knew I could do. Now, externally, if you met me, you would never know. For people who met me at the time, they would never know. But people who knew me from back then, I would say college, they knew I wasn't fully me. And I said I had to get back to me. So I went on LinkedIn. I did my little paragraph of what I said. And the two things they asked me, do you want someone professionally and spiritually, or, both? And I said, both. But as God sent, and because I really believe it was God sent, there were three people I narrowed down to. She was the first person who contacted me. And when she called me, I knew through the prayer and the conversation that she was the person I needed to connect. I already knew, but I said, you know what? I want to give everyone a fair chance. And I did, because when the other three people didn't work out for different situations, not that they were not good coaches, they were great. I ended up, one of the other candidates I had, now she and I are actually friends, because we ended up having another conversation. It led to something, and just through us talking, I said, she and I could see us working down the line where a project or becoming friends. And that's how it became. We didn't talk every day, maybe once every 3-4 months, we checked on each other. But now we're 2.5 years, we actually call each other friends. And it's crazy, because now
Awesome.
we're looking at projects. How can we help each other out? We
Sure.
refer each other for stuff. I called her. I had a conversation with her yesterday. I said, hey, there's something coming up. I need you. Because I know what her expertise
So
is. She knows what
Candy,
mine is.
so Candy, my
Oh, I'm
question
sorry, I'm
is,
going on.
yes. So I know I appreciate that, and it's great, all the tools and all that
Mhm.
stuff. So tell me, what was the problem that you were having before you discovered Dare to Dream coaching and me?
So I wasn't getting, I think people didn't know how to place me, or how to, I want to say use, but how to use my expertise. Also, I wasn't getting my worth. I know my worth. I'm very aware of it, but I'm also aware that certain industries have certain norms. So I knew if I love a certain industry and this is their norm or average, guess what? I know I'm an entrepreneur who loves to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I knew that I have to position myself a certain way. And one of the key things through this Dare to Dream process was, when you're going through the process, write down the things, be honest with yourself. There was something that I loved about Dare to Dream process was the affirmations. There was a time in my life where every morning I literally had to do that, because of everything I had experienced. It had gotten me, I would say, to my lowest point, mentally, emotionally. And I had to say, and I knew, I was like, this is not me. I'm not thinking right. I can't even think straight. I can't even make a decision right. That's a problem for me. So I literally, every morning I would say maybe 2 to 3. And I think I did that for a full year. I had to clear my head. I
Yeah.
had to. And it got to the point where I would say it and I'm like, okay. I wasn't on edge. I wasn't uneasy, because I needed that to start my day.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think you could hear that in my voice from the first time we started to speak as I transitioned. Because I know the first time I was like, okay, I was on edge. My nerves were all over the place.
Yeah.
Um,
So tell
but
me this.
it's just,
So
mhm.
tell me this. So what exactly about the Dare to Dream system and coaching worked for you? And what actually made the difference? So you talk about affirmations. Was there
Mhm.
something else about the process or the systems that you felt really gave you the edge?
Yes. Literally, do not skip the process,
Okay.
because you knew I did that in the beginning, and that's what I didn't get, what I was supposed to get out of it. I didn't, I would say, transform along the way. The first time I skipped part of it, I went back, and when I was like, oh my God, this is so good, because it draws certain things out of you. It's like, it's, however you want to say, clearing your head, or it's cleaning house, it's getting you from step A to step B. And one thing you have to keep in mind is that everyone comes in at different stages. I think I was at stage 1. So
Sure.
I needed to go through, you know, the first process, the boot camps, not camps. I had to do that for me.
Yes.
I didn't care about what other person was doing or this person. No. When you get a life coach, and you say, I need a life coach, you have to remember that your journey is your journey. You cannot compare yourself to someone else. You can say, oh, I like what this person is doing. Hopefully I get to wherever my success is supposed to be, whatever success is for you, because it differs from person to person. We all have different values. We value things differently. I value something differently from someone else. It doesn't mean their value is wrong. It doesn't mean mine is right. It's just that we're individuals. And I think people need to understand that we are individuals. We can like the same things, but we still are individuals. So when you go into the process and you're going through a coaching process, you have to remember that you are starting at a different point or stage
Got it.
than someone else, even though you may be going through the same process.
Got it.
So
Got it.
one key thing, oh, the networking. I used
Yes.
to be a serial networker,
Yes.
but when I became a parent, I slowed down, and I miss that. I miss connecting
Mhm.
with people. I miss, speaking to people. I miss the conversations because I love having conversation, a good one. And I remember within the first day you kept saying it, and I remember me getting little anxiety over networking. I couldn't
Okay.
understand it. That was when I knew. I said, "Oh, I gotta know. I really have changed based on what I experienced." Because I could not believe it. I used to be the one where anything that I'm there. My friends would pull me, "Oh, you're good with people. I need you to come. I need you to just talk to people." But when you told me several times, okay, you need to start networking. I was afraid to. I couldn't understand that. I could not understand it. But that told me, oh my God, I have changed based on what happened. So, and I pushed myself.
Got it.
And I said, okay, Candy, you're going to have to do it. So I volunteered. I'm good
Yes.
at volunteering. The volunteering sort of made me meet other people, like-minded people like me, who we mean well, but we just want to get to know other good people. Not thinking opportunity, I said, I just want to meet people who are just like me, who are ambitious, who mean well. Because you can be ambitious and not mean well, who
Yeah.
mean well, who their head, heart, soul, they're in the right place. Don't have to look like me, but they mean well.
Yeah.
Don't have to be females, but they mean well. We all have a common goal. We have several commonalities. So it's one of the things where I started networking, and where I was like, oh my God, I started meeting other people. Then my confidence started to come back into networking. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, LinkedIn. Then you had, and I think it was before you started the Career Cafe. I started literally um, going on LinkedIn, pushing myself, hey, connecting with people.
Nice.
Miraculously, other people started to connect with me. I even got to the point where I started to, I remember I said, when I speak to people, people got to know me, they're like, but Candy, you're very knowledgeable. I mean, and what I think struck them was not the knowledge, but my personality. And I always knew I have a great personality, not had, half. But there was a time where I was saying I had a great personality. And that to me just drove me crazy. I said, oh, this is not me speaking.
Got it.
Mm-mm.
Got it. So let me ask you
So,
this.
mm-hmm,
If you can recall, what was the exact moment? Now, I have my own thoughts about this as well,
mm-hmm,
because typically I can see and feel something changing
mm-hmm.
in clients, what we call on our Dare to Dream campus dreamers. I can see the
Mm-hmm.
change, like I feel it, and it's like kind of like from moment to moment,
Mm-hmm.
literally. So take me, if you can recall, the exact moment when you realized that the dream formula and system was working for you. How did that feel?
Oh my God. It's funny. It's like you get butterflies, like, oh my God. Because you're realizing that there's a transformation taking place in you. And it's like, oh my God. Like I'm starting to see, feel, and hear what it can be like, the end result. And you're still in this belief, like, okay. So there were several moments that struck out to me that I think were milestones for me. Um, Besides you calling me out about I didn't I didn't go through the process the first time. And the second time was, I think you had a grief expert. That was a breaking moment for me. That was it was pivotal. I'll put it that way. And I remember when she made the list of loss, things you don't even think about: loss of job, moving, we all understand grieving, you know, a loss of a family member or friend. That's normal for us. But moving, loss of job, changes, let's just put it this way. She had a long list of things, and maybe, I would say maybe 10 or 11. Out of that, I probably had 8. I checked off on 8. That's how I know. I was like, oh my God, this is why I feel the way I feel.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
prior to that, it just, I knew I wasn't me, but I was like, I don't know why. I knew I had been through changes, but I still didn't get it because I'm so used to saying, I'm okay. I can keep moving. I'm strong. I'm okay. And I realized I'm not okay.
Got it. Yeah. No. So tell me, was it any one thing in the system? So in our system, for those who might be connecting with me for the first time, it spells out dream. Declutter your mind, body, spirit, and environment. Set the stage for success. Um, Rediscover your goals and passions. Evaluate your companies and potential targets. Activate your success toolkit, which is resume and your, I would say, your verbal business card, and master the art of networking and interviewing. And so, out of those, was it any one of them that really you said that this was the most important thing that helped me transition to getting and landing this position?
For me, it's not one thing. There were several things. The beginning stage is the decluttering process. I think is a necessity, is a need. I think everyone should have their declutter process because that's the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to declutter, you start to feel this weight that's going on. Like, oh my God, I didn't. It's like an emotional, mental transformation, and you may have to declutter maybe more than once, based on which stage you're coming into. Because I think I had to declutter twice. I started, I was okay, and then I wasn't doing the process, and then I went back, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I got to do this again, and I had to go back and declutter. That's one. Um, and I may be not going in a sequence. Definitely doing the homework. I remember, I think it was in a boot camp, and we had the process where we had to write the journaling. Some people don't like journaling. For me, it worked. I was on and off with it, but making sure I write certain things down through my process daily, or just sit down and reflect on how my day was. That was another thing. The evaluation, doing the resume, um, writing the different industries that you're interested in. I think I did that maybe 4 or 5. You had to keep telling me, Candy, you have
Oh,
this, start with
yeah.
5. And I
Yeah.
realized I have a focusing problem because I get excited and I want to do all these things, and I had to
Yeah.
focus. So you were very patient with me. That, and then definitely the networking. The networking is a must. The
Yes.
networking is a must. I say that because here's the rationale behind it, what I gather, and I know everyone has, you know, different explanation. Think about it. All of us are applying to several jobs. We're just applying. There's probably thousands, maybe even millions. But look at it this way. If you know someone, everyone knows someone who knows someone who knows someone. You can call it 6 degrees of separation, or sometimes I say 3. You're meeting someone, sometimes it's not about what you know, but based on the conversation, based on the personality, conversation is key. Just saying hello. People may just take to you, and the conversations may lead to other conversations, and then they get to know, and it's like, I like this person. You know what? There's something I know. Wait, come here. You know what? So and so is doing stuff. You need to come. That's how it happens.
Yes.
It's happened like that for me before, and even now even more so since I went through the process, because I think the process got me at a point mentally, emotionally, being present, that I can engage in certain conversations, that I can hear what they're saying. Sometimes someone would tell you, oh, I want you to come here. You know, come meet us here to this meeting, or let's go to this networking thing. It's not so much that they just want you to be a part of it, but they're trying to introduce you. Because sometimes I realize I do that. When I meet people that I'm like, you know what? let me introduce you to this person. I will never say why, but there's a reason. There's a reason for it. I want you to connect, because I feel there could be other opportunities or like-minded people. It's good to know like-minded people. But that networking was the key, because through networking, by you pushing me and telling me networking, I volunteer. I had other opportunities. I've been pulled several ways for different projects that I'm sitting there and I'm like, I have no business here. This is not what I do. Oh, no, 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 no. You're good at people. You're good with people. You're good at communicating. Sit here. We need you to sit here. And sometimes they just want me to assess just by listening. What do I think? So now people are asking me for my opinion. What do I think? What did I get out of this to help them? And I'm blown away, because I'm like, this is not my thing.
Awesome.
Then the networking, the webinar, I think it's Minority Business Development had webinars in May, Women of Color series. Me being the person, I said, okay, I thought of it. Yes, it's great information, but I want to network. Yeah. And I told other women that I knew, go on there. After I was like, I asked 2 or 3 of my friends, I said, you didn't chat on the side? No. I'm like, no. This is what you got to do. It's networking. Even though it's a webinar, the chat room, we had over thousands of female entrepreneurs from all walks of life doing wonderful things. I connected with over 35 women. Yes. To this day, I keep in touch. We constant communication with 6 of them. And every time they keep introducing me to other people. That's right. So my network has grown. And the opportunity I got for consulting, which I still can't believe, this lady constantly tells me about other opportunities, is through that webinar. Yes. We connected. I said, hey, I'm Candia Savice. I put all my platforms, LinkedIn, everything else. You decide how you choose to connect with me. A lot of them did LinkedIn, Instagram. And she reached out to me maybe a week after it ended, which was maybe late May. And it was like, hey, I noticed, you have a background this, I need to talk. Me and this lady over a month, I went through her screening process. And here we are today. I'm in a position where I have not 1, not 2, but 3 contracts. I had to turn down 1. Yes. And then the other one, she was like, no, you can do this. You have the time. This is a long one. It's a long process. You have the time to do it. Basically, she wasn't going to accept no for an answer. Gotcha. So let me ask you this. So tell me, tell the Dare the Dreamers who are listening to this, what your career path in life look like now that you have those problems solved and how to keep on solving them. What does the future look like for you? So everything I dreamed of, prayed for, wanted to do, everything I said to myself that this is what I want to do, this is where I want to position myself, it is coming together. And I say that because now I'm linked to a university, because I said I need to be linked to university for whatever my process is. I said I want to get into public speaking, because all my life, even when I think back to the 8th grade, I had a teacher who saw the potential in me. And the school I went to in Liberia, they used to do introduction of guest speakers. I was supposed to do it once. He made me do it 3 or 4 times. And I remember being mad, because I was very shy back then. And he said, no, I can see you doing this. So when fast forward to now, 30 something years later, every time school work, people always told me, you need to join because you're really good at this. Well, I'm connected to someone who does public speaking, and I'm a part of a group, and I'm linked to it because I'm going through certain processes and stuff she does because it helps me. Also, I want to do public speaking. That's there. Everything I set in my head, now that I'm to this point, I would literally say, oh, I need to connect with a business coach because I need to structure my business a certain way. I already know I have to do the process. Literally, a week and a half, I will meet someone. I've sat in many webinars. During this pandemic, this is what I did. When I'm on Facebook, it's not for chat. I'm looking because I know people advertise what they do. I'm looking at different experts in their field and professionals in their field that I can connect with to get what I need to get out of it. If you want to call it training, process, whatever, that's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I don't have time for the little chat. I'm chatting with people who are trying to improve, better themselves, change their situations, transform, however you choose to call it. That's what I'm doing. I do try to engage with the people I connected with via social media, not as much. And then we end up, it's funny, we end up connecting on other platforms and even speaking. Hey,
Nice.
accountability partners.
Nice.
So
So
I
tell
have
me this.
accountability partners.
Awesome. That's awesome. So tell me this. What advice would you give someone who is considering investing in themselves through Dare to Dream, one of our programs or processes, or even private coaching with me? What is your advice to them on why they should say yes?
I would say yes, because if you, first of all, no man or woman is an island. I don't care how smart you are, ambitious you are. Even if you're at the top of your game, guess what? You always have to look at what can I improve? What can I change? What can I grow? And if you want to get to the next level or next step in your life, you do need a coach. You also have to ask yourself, yeah, you want to improve, but what are you trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
You really have to ask, soul search. What am I trying to do? What is my purpose for doing this? I know I want to get better, but what am I trying to achieve? That's one thing. Then for me, when I was looking for a coach, I know I went on your, I did with everyone. I went on website. I saw, I'm like, okay. I read, little stuff. Okay. I listened. The first conversation, I was doing more listening. I think I asked maybe a few questions. I know the kind of person that will work for me. You know what you need, not
Yeah.
what you want, what you need. So, go that way. And I'm spiritual. So I say pray. Go for what you need. Sit down, have those little private conversations with yourself, however you do, whether it's writing, a mental thought, reflection, and then pray on it. Whatever, your spiritual affiliation, you do that because you do need that guidance. Because guess what? This is your life. So
Absolutely.
everything you do is going to affect your life.
Absolutely. So
So
tell me
yeah, so
why.
that was my process.
Yes. So tell me why someone should select me as their coach.
Well, all those things I said. Here's the thing. You were very patient, but you were not a pushover. You give me a lot of tough love. And the way you said it was so nice and calm, but I don't want to go, oh my gosh, you just put me in my place. But I loved it. You were very, very professional, but you were very loving at the same time. It was like you just had the right balance. But then your process, it's very systematic. It does get you to peel off those layers
Mm-hmm.
if you follow the process. Do not think that you can skip and say, oh, I'm good. Yeah, because, for some of us who always think we want to outsmart, that's what we try to do. It won't work.
Mm-hmm.
It will get you right back to where you need to be. And it's like, I have to do this. I can't skip it. So the process works.
Yes.
Follow the process. Take the coaching advice when Lisa is telling you, because yes, there is a method to the madness, but it works. And there's no madness. It's just, the saying, but it works. But you have to go through the process. You have to take the little coaching advices and tips, even when you're going through the process that she's giving you. You have to. Because I can tell you, if I didn't network, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be sitting in front of you telling you my success story. I definitely would not. If I didn't go back to do the process, the step I skipped, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because there is a difference from where I started to where I am today. Major difference.
Awesome. So let me say this. I
Mm-hmm.
am overjoyed. I consider it a high privilege to have had our paths cross.
Oh,
And I am so, so tremendously blessed for you to be able to say those things, to have gone through the process and the system, trusted it for yourself, and then found the success, and then found like just like this whole new renewed energy. And I'm gonna tell you, like today, your
mm-hmm.
whole face looks different. Like your whole
I know.
countenance is different. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. I would, you're forcing me to think to do a pre and a post, like have some
Uh-huh.
sort of
You know
conversation
you should.
before and after. But let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking at you, and it does not yet appear what God is going to bless you with. I
Oh, thank
see
you.
some
Huh.
amazing things in your future because, you first took the step of
Mm-hmm.
investing in yourself through me, through Dare to Dream. But the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing of all is you did the work. And so now you're reaping the rewards. So,
Thank you.
congratulations on your success. I'm going to be checking in with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, one final thing, do you have any departing words for someone who may be on the edge of saying
Okay.
yes?
I would tell them, do not hesitate, because here's the thing. When you sit down and the self-doubt comes, oh, I can't do this or whatever it is, you're not getting any better. You're not moving closer to your dream career. You're not moving towards your dream life. It's the same thing. You're going to get tired. And then the breaking point is when you know where you can be and you actually see someone living out your dream and hey, we're similar. This is where I want to be, and you're not there. You need to just, send that email, start the process, because it's happier being on the other side. It's much happier. And then you're going to look back and laugh at yourself and say, oh my God, I can't. Oh, not only laugh, you're going to have those moments like, wow, I remember when I used to feel this way. I remember when I used to think this way. And you start looking at the glass half full and not half empty. That's a test everyone should do. I do it all the time. That's how I know, okay, I've really shifted. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Well, again, thank you for sharing this time with me, for sharing your story. And once again, we're going to be watching your success, and I just can't wait to see where you're going to end up. So, thank you, Candy, for joining me in sharing your success story.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for everything. And I'm still connected to you.
Yes, we'll talk more, of course, and I will continue to see you around on our Dare to Dream campus as well. But for this
Okay.
conversation, we're signing off. Take care.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you.